Okay, guys. So I heard you had a really beautiful trip to Adepticon that basically was one plateau of wonderfulness after another.
This is the opposite of how my face
I couldn't even do it. Okay, you two need to scooch together. Get a little bit further. A little bit further. Okay, can you hold hands?
Okay.
Because
Permanent handshake.
that's awesome. Okay, all right. The high production value that we are known for.
All right.
Okay, guys.
I think the place to begin is the day before. Here.
Working on the army.
Tuesday night. We we're working on the army. It's like, you know, we get off work and we start working on the army. Or actually, we've been working on it pretty much all day.
Yeah, we worked on it all day.
We worked on it all day, and then so we're still working on the army. It becomes Wednesday morning. We're still working on the army. 4:30 in the morning at Wednesday, we finally get done and work here.
Yeah. You're gonna miss it.
So, alright, so 4:30 in the morning, we finally finish up here, and we pack everything up. We had sent Ben 2 home at, what, about midnight or 11 or something?
Yeah, we wanted one person to be able to drive.
Yeah, so
the first
we
leg.
planned ahead a little bit. And so then Thomas picked up the rental, or supposed to pick up the rental at 7.
In the morning, without sleeping.
Yeah, so basically, 4:30, we all leave here. We go home and take what ended up being a nap.
An hour nap.
Yeah, an hour nap. I was back here at 8 a.m. to open the place up and get stuff ready. Mason and Ben were able to sleep in a little longer because Thomas didn't go get the rental until about 8.
Yep.
So Thomas gets here with the rental at about 9. And we pack up the car and take off, and everything is smooth, aside from the fact that we're super freaking tired.
Yeah.
Until we get to Rock Springs, Wyoming. So we're driving along in Wyoming, and all of a sudden, we see signs that say the road's closed up ahead. And we're like,
well, that must be wrong. It's like sunny outside.
Yeah, it looks beautiful out. So we pull up to an exit, and the road's blocked off. There's cops, and we get off. We ask the cop what's going on. He's like, "Oh, winter weather, so the roads are gonna be closed for about 4 to 6 hours. So you're gonna have to go back to Rock Springs."
Yeah.
We got back on the highway, went back to Rock Springs, and we sat in the Starbucks for like 3 hours. I forgot to tell this part of the main Warrior fan.
Bert?
I forgot about Bert.
Oh, Bert. Okay.
Tell him about Bert.
Okay, so we're sitting here like in Starbucks, and we're trying to figure out what to do. Like if we can go around maybe, or if there'd be a better way. But apparently it's just winter weather all across the state, and then some. Colorado is just as bad.
Yeah.
Not worse.
And Nebraska too.
Nebraska too. So this guy comes over and he starts talking to us. And
He's a crusty old guy.
Yeah, he was pretty haggard, I guess is the way to describe him. Haggard.
Yeah, haggard.
Comes over and he's like, "Hey, you boys, I'll show you this way." And he starts talking to us and just kind of enjoying everything that was coming out of his mouth and not really listening for the most part.
He had a piece of beef jerky.
He's pointing at everything with his piece of beef jerky. Like, you gotta do this.
Are you talking about Bert?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about Bert. Let's
dude.
just sit here and we're gonna retell the
Here,
stories.
come here.
Ben's here too.
I'll sit back here.
So we never actually got this guy's name, by the way. We came up with like the best, most appropriate name for the guy. Most appropriate name for the guy.
Which ended up being Bert.
Yeah.
Bert just feels like a hardcore guy.
Yeah. Basically, we figure that Bert probably base jumps off the Sears Tower.
No, he told us.
Yeah, he told us that.
He told us my buddy, he goes to Sears Tower, blah. And we're like, what? What's going on? You jump off Sears Tower?
Yeah.
Anywho.
So he's like trying to get us out of Wyoming.
Yeah. Telling us all these back road ways, and we're all kind of looking at each other. Like,
Trying to get you to a second location.
I'll take you there right now.
I'll show you how to go. And we're
I'll
just
show
like,
you the best way. It's
well,
beautiful.
this way.
That's awesome.
We're like, yeah, we don't.
That's where I go to see my grandbaby.
Yeah, it's like,
So
what is that smell? This is the pig rendering fat. Where are the pigs?
Yeah.
So we pass up this guy's offer because we just want to be able to stay on a main road.
Yeah. Who knows what would happen?
So we start going. We go back down the same highway, and we get off that same exit, and we start going down this road that parallels the highway.
Oh, by the way, we were following Bert.
Yeah, we were following what we thought was
randomly because we saw this car like get on the freeway at the same time as us. We're like,
similar.
that looks like the guy.
like
That looks
Bert. So we're following Bert.
He goes down this crazy road that's
So
like
we follow him, and all of a sudden, in the distance, like we go under the highway and around this mountain, and turn in the opposite direction of
we
the
were
highway.
going-
I swear this was the
it was a parallel road
easiest.
on the freeway, by the way. So it was
Yeah.
literally going
It
like
was an
this.
Like a
access road.
frontage road.
Yeah.
Access.
So it
And
goes
then it
under
goes
the
like
highway,
this. It goes under it.
and then back, continuing along it, and then all of a sudden it goes in the
Now
opposite
hold
direction.
on, I gotta just close your eyes and think about this. You come up over this
Yeah,
ridge.
it's the best
There is
description.
this factory,
Middle of nowhere.
middle of
Nothing else
nowhere. There, and it's open and flat. There's a mesa on this side, a mesa on this side, and then flat. You come up over this ridge. This thing has 3 smokestacks, just billowing
Yeah.
smoke.
We all agreed that it was about the creepiest place we'd ever seen.
Yeah.
It just
That
looked
was
really
the last
dark and
place we'd ever be
ominous.
seen before no one ever saw us
That's where they
again.
bring
Yeah, the
bodies.
Soylent
We
Green
turned
factory.
around and went
Like,
back to.
I'm wanting one of these guys to text my wife saying, "We are in Wyoming. Find the bodies."
Yeah. We turned around, we go back to the highway, and where the highway was, there was, like, we checked and the roads weren't closed anymore. The lights were still flashing like road closed, but the highway report didn't have the roads closed. So we're like, all right,
We
we're
didn't
gonna
see any
go.
cars on there hardly at all either. There was like
Well,
one
no,
car.
we did see a couple go by.
Yeah,
so we're like,
we
well,
saw
those
like
cars are
two.
going by,
Yeah.
so we get on the highway.
So we snuck on the highway.
Basically,
Kind of what it
yes.
was.
So we stuck on the highway and we ended up getting to Rollins.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah. We ended up getting to Rollins, and it's what, probably 6, 7 o'clock at night by
Yeah.
now.
Snowing really hard.
Snowing.
Though. Oh no, we skipped the whole part.
Oh, did we? Okay. Oh, the birds.
The birds.
Oh,
It was like
my
Alfred
Lord.
Hitchcock's The Birds.
The movie is just like the movie. So we're driving to this highway. We're the only ones around, by the way.
There's no weed. I was driving.
Yeah, we're like, that's the best part. Is he's like, have you ever seen like a man this big scream like a woman? 'Cause it was great.
Can you reenact the scene? Pretend
So-
like you're pretend like
Already, I'm
pretend like
driving.
you're driving. Okay, good.
I'm driving.
Can you move your
I'm
hands back and
already-
forth just a little bit like
Yeah,
that?
I'm
Okay,
already
good.
Trying to nap in the
hating
back, by the way.
life. I'm
Okay,
hating
yeah.
life right now.
I'm
Wishing I never agreed to this. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of birds around here. And then all of a sudden, there was.
Oh God! Oh, what happened?
That wasn't like a little girl at all.
Packs of
I
packs of birds were sitting along the side of the road, and as the car drove by, they took off. But some of
Towards
them
the car.
decided that car looks like a great place to die. Go boom.
I hit
Suicidal
3 at
bird.
one time.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
count was up to 9 by the end of the birds.
Oh, that horrible
Yeah.
crunch noise.
And
God, this is not an
If
easy
you-
day for the birds.
if you hit 9 birds, you just don't come back right from that.
Yeah.
Your day is done.
You feel really terrible. So we're driving along, we're killing birds,
And the funniest thing, me and Petey's both in the front seat, and we see the birds coming.
And we're, like,
and we're
dodging them.
going like this.
it's like a video game.
Me and Thomas was backseat just cracking up.
Because
They're dodging them with
We're
their
dodging
heads.
things that are never gonna get to us.
But
Oh,
yeah,
man, so that was
so
fun.
the carnage road of all the dead birds on the side, because it wasn't just us hitting them; everybody else had hit them.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
just
there was
tons of
And there
birds
was
everywhere.
crows or ravens, whatever they have in Wyoming,
Yeah.
just eating these dead carcasses
Yeah,
as well.
it was gross.
Yeah.
Well, we get to Rollins. Okay, so we go back to
Finally get to Rollins, and we
It's
go
all
to this.
snowy.
And you know those birds never brush their teeth.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Well,
right?
Okay,
I
go
would eat- I
ahead.
would eat.
Right?
So we get to Rollins. We go to this restaurant. And we overhear the manager talking to some of the customers,
like 3 different people.
3 different
Yeah.
people, about how the prices that they're paying at the hotels that they're staying at, because the roads are closed,
Yeah.
is 3 to 4 times more than what the rooms
Yeah.
are worth.
Oh, wow.
Like a $35 a room night,
They were totally
they were charging
scalping.
$120, $150 for it. Like they were price gouging hardcore. So,
So-
we're like, well, this is gonna be fun.
So we go looking at all the hotels
yeah, we
in
go
town.
around to a bunch of different hotels.
Whoa!
Every hotel in Rollins, every one of them, even like the brand name ones, looks like the Bates Motel.
Every single one.
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
really
Yeah.
cool. So we go to the first one. This is
Feedy was being brave.
Yeah, we go to this Econo Lodge, and I'm the one that's going in to check the room rates.
He'd lost rock, paper,
Oh
scissors.
yeah, is this room 211 or
This is
whatever?
room 211.
Okay.
So I go up to the door to get into the lobby, and it says, "Come to 211 upstairs." So I'm like, okay, and I walk up the stairs, and I go to room 211 and knock on the door. And this old guy, he's got like a full beard, he's got a shirt on and his underwear, opens the door. He's like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I saw the sign on the lobby. It says come to 211. Do you have any rooms?" He's like, what? I was like, you don't own the hotel, do you? He's like, nope. And I was like, all right. So I went back down to the lobby and just kind of walked in. And this guy comes out of the back room and he's like, oh, what can I do for you? And I was like, yeah, I just need a room for the night for 2 beds. He's like,
Did he have any comical characteristics? Like a
is it
glass
comical?
eye?
Is it comical?
Or-
Do we want to say?
Grumpy.
Do we want to say Apu?
Is it comical
Apu
that
from
he's
Simpsons?
from? Is it comical that he's
No, that's
from
not
India
comical
or something
at all.
like that? No, that's
No.
not comical. Okay, so he's like, okay, for you it'll be $125 for the night. I'll make you a
Oh!
special
Make you
deal.
special
I'll make
deal.
you a special deal. It's the last room
And then
And I
here's
was
the
like,
best part.
okay, let me go check with the other guys, make sure that's okay.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, you want 1 bedroom or 2? Smoking or non-smoking? And I was like, if it's the last room, why do I get choices? so I was like, yeah, let me go check with my buddies. I got in the car, we left. We were like, nope. So we checked a few other hotels. Like one of them said, "Oh yeah, the Econo Lodge across the street, they've got a room." And I was like, "Yeah,
right.
A room.
Yeah, it was like a conspiracy ring." So
We
finally,
stopped
what
at
finally
one
happened?
that looked super creepy.
Yeah.
And he ran in there and came back. It's like cash only. It's like, so they go have a paper trail.
yeah, exactly. Cash only, paper trail, paper trail. So we finally find one that was like 89 for the night, and we were like, "Whatever, that's fine." We'll do that. So we stay there. The room ended up not being terrible, but it still looked like a creepy hotel.
I felt like that I wanted to sleep in a bath of Perel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
That's great. Not enough sanitizer. in
And
the
just
room.
FYI, this guy likes to cuddle.
Oh, nice.
They shared a bed. Thomas and I shared a bed. Oh, that's
Like that
Thomas
scene in
was-
Train.
So all of us were
Train-
comfortable except for Thomas, who's like sitting over
No,
there.
no.
going
Well, okay. Here's the story about Thomas.
Freezing
right?
cold.
He's like we all have at least a little meat on our bones.
Yeah.
Thomas has none. He's very, very skinny.
Yeah.
So I get into bed and I like put all the covers at the end of the bed that are part of my side, and I just have the sheet on because they were blaring the heat in that hotel room. I
Yeah.
turned it down. Oh, here comes Thomas. Fantastic. So I have that. I just have a sheet on, and Thomas takes all the blankets and puts it on himself, and like cocoons himself in. And apparently he was still cold. I woke up at some point and I was like, "Huh, I'm kind of cold." And I reached down for those blankets I put down there, and they're gone because Thomas had them because he was cold. And I was like, "Whatever, I'm fine, I guess."
I was still cold.
So that was the
You
experience
could
of the
have
hotel
called
there.
with me and it would have been better.
I woke up in the middle of the night, and me and Mason are back to back. Like, you couldn't get anything in between us. The only thought in my head was, I'm warm, and fell back asleep.
So we wake up that morning in Rollins,
Here we go.
and it's like 8. It's 8 in the morning or so. The roads open up, so we're like, great. We get on the
Oh,
road.
wait, literally, we got in the car within like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, we were gone.
Yeah.
We were gone.
We ain't having any more of this.
So we're driving along. We're driving along from Rollins, and the next big city
Laramie.
is Laramie.
It's only like an hour and a half down the
Only
road.
an hour and a half down the road. We get just past Laramie, roads closed again. Go back to Laramie. So we're like, you gotta be kidding me. So we get off and we go find a bar.
Yep.
That's what we did.
We were like,
found
forget
a
it.
bar.
First we sat.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about
the
this part.
convenience
We
store.
said it at a convenience
Oh,
store
yeah.
parking lot. And I'm sitting
about
there,
an
I'm
hour.
reading the Dark Angels Codex, trying to get a little familiar with our army because
we
hadn't played it yet.
We practiced with this army
So I'm
a
sitting
lot.
there, and then this woman pulls up next to us, goes to get out of the car.
Oh,
thunk,
yeah.
Her door hits our door. And I was
For the
like,
rental.
that
Which
just
we
hit
don't
the
have
door of the
insurance
rental.
on, by
And
the
Tom's
way.
was like, oh.
I mean mugger.
This fat lady gets out of her car, goes into the convenience store, comes back out, opens her door again, funk. That's twice. There were 2 little nick marks on the door,
Yep.
and we were like, whatever. We just don't care right now.
I got out of the door and like examined it and kind of was like looking at it.
And then you looked at her and then
really
she just
like
kind of goes like
took
this. She
my
goes,
time.
no,
Yeah.
whatever.
She just oh man.
Yeah.
So then we're like, let's get out of here. Let's go find a bar or whatever. 'Cause we've had it right now. So we go find this bar called Mulligan's, which on the outside looks super creepy.
It was super creepy looking.
But at that point, we didn't care how it looked. We were just like, whatever.
But on
Well,
the
it looked
inside,
like a liquor store, right?
It was a liquor
We
store.
were gonna go buy
Just a
some,
six-pack.
buy a 6-pack and just sit in the car.
Ben Jackson agreed. By the way, Ben Jackson
was-
agrees to not drink,
He
so
was
we have
DD
an
the
ED.
entire time.
Oh, there
We
you
did
go.
not drink and drive.
No. BTP does not condone.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Anywho.
Thanks, guys.
So we go inside, and like it was actually a really nice bar on the inside.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the bar
Really
slash
nice.
liquor store. I've never
Really
seen
cool.
that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. So we decided to go in there and hang out.
Even the
This was
bathrooms
like
were nice.
The bathrooms were fantastic.
Yeah.
it was like 10:30 in the morning.
It was.
We were drinking at 10:30, 10:30,
It was
11.
terrible.
Yeah.
But it was
so,
funny at the same time.
So yeah. Anyways, we had a lot of fun there. You roll dice and stuff. And we were like, oh, you gonna play dice in the bar? Let's do that. So if you roll like what was it, 5 of a kind, you win
5 of a kind
$500.
on a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, single.
You
roll.
pay $1 and you get 2 rolls.
Yeah.
And so we rolled.
Yeah.
And if you got 3 of a kind, you get a free drink.
Yeah.
Mason won a free drink.
I got a free drink.
How
Ben
much
Jackson
did you pay?
knows. Oh, it was like $8
Yeah, we
altogether.
paid like $8.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
But
If
Ben
you roll
Jackson,
5 of a kind,
You get 500.
You get
$500.
$500. So let's
asked
do
the-
the math.
we
What are
asked
the
the
odds of
bartender.
rolling
We
5
are,
of a
it's
kind?
1 in 1. It's
6
1 in
to the fourth power.
1,136.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's,
So,
yeah,
That's
it's
better.
astronomical. It's astronomically small.
well, yeah, they're making about
was
Well,
$1,000.
who knows? Maybe
for
our
it.
luck would change at that point. Nope, it's still the same.
It didn't really hurt. Yeah, it didn't bother
Hey,
me.
it was
Yeah.
fun. It took our mind off it. It was fun. That was the whole point of the bar.
It was
took
making
them
the
out
day
of-
better.
And then there was a bartender named Annie.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
was like
yeah.
the best
She's
part of the day.
gorgeous.
Okay, well, first of all, the first
The
bartender that was there
unobtainable
was this
hot
guy
bartender.
named Jory.
Where you're kind of pathetic
Jory
if you
was
even
Jory
try.
was awesome, right? He was
Jory
the
was
man.
great, man.
He
Yeah.
they
Apparently,
had,
I know
freezer
something about
pizzas.
that.
They had freezer
From
pizzas and
TV shows.
it was from How I Met Your Mother probably.
Yeah.
They had freezer pizzas that they did in this little oven.
It's like Tombstone
But they
or
only, Tombstone pizza, and all they had was pepperoni. So I was like, hey, can you take the pepperoni off half and put it on the other half? Because I only like cheese pizza. He's like, sure, why not? He was the man. Jory was the man. And then his shift ended, and Annie comes strolling in, and she is gorgeous.
Pour some sugar.
Yeah. And so
Like
just
slow
her hair
motion,
couldn't get any
fans
better.
are going on.
Her hair was wet, and she was
Blake
doing this.
Lively.
Yeah, she looked exactly like Blake Lively.
Blake Lively. So Google Blake Lively,
There you go.
And you see what our
and
bartender
you will
looks
see
like.
what the bartender looked
Very,
like.
very attractive.
Yeah.
That
So
was
finally,
awesome.
so we're there for.
5.5
We're reading
Five
books in the
and a
bar,
half
by the way.
No, no.
She thought that was funny.
No, if we got there
Yeah, like he's reading the Fang,
We didn't
the
leave,
Space Wolf book. I'm reading the Dark
That's awesome. You look like a bunch of nerds.
We were about
Oh, we
Good
told
for
her.
you.
Like,
The Ben's playing his DS. Like
his
it was
pink
funny.
DS, by the way.
Yeah.
We were there until 5:30.
And then we're saying, okay, if it hits like 10 o'clock and the roads are up, we're going home.
We're going
like
home.
forget
You're like,
Adepticon. We're
sorry,
going home.
guys.
Yeah.
Not going.
So the roads open up finally. Yeah. And we go. We're like, just go. We just gotta be out of here. We get to Cheyenne. Everything's fine. And we finally get out of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything else in Wyoming?
We get out of Wyoming and the roads are perfect within like 30 miles.
Yes. Nebraska is dandy. We were dreading Nebraska. We're like, Nebraska's the worst.
Oh,
It's
it's
seven.
good, yeah.
It's like 7 hours to get to Nebraska. It's awful.
As soon as we got into Nebraska, what did we do?
Yeah, Nebraska! Nebraska's awesome. Every state, Canada, Wyoming. I'm sorry, Wyoming. No, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Just the stick.
Just the state line.
It
All right.
was,
Okay,
it was
thanks.
bad.
So we're in. Are we in Nebraska when you
Blue
stopped
table
doing that?
painting.
It,
was
no,
that in Iowa?
it was in Iowa.
Any
Okay.
responsibility.
Anything of note?
For the
In
viewpoints
Nebraska, we go to
expressed
this
therein.
McDonald's, and it was like 12
Oh,
to 1.
that's
Their
right.
lobby,
Okay.
their lobby
Yeah,
had
that's good.
just closed, but they're like, oh yeah, you can come and use the bathroom, and they're like, well, we're not going to make you go through the drive-through, so we'll just take your order here.
They were being really nice to us.
Yeah, it was super nice. So Ben orders some sweet tea, and they're like talking about how sweet tea's so awesome. Hit Ben and the lady from the counter, and they're
Okay.
just talking about we get our food, and we're like waiting. We're waiting on the food.
I'm
We gotta-
choosing
Jackson.
to believe this lady looks like George Costanza's mom.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Did she really?
Kind
Yeah,
of.
she
Look
did.
at like
Up
that.
that Ben's got his sweet tea, drops it, makes a huge
All
mess.
over the counter, on the floor, all over the
Oh
place.
no!
When the lobby's closed,
And
it's
it
like,
was like,
They
and we were
jinxed
just
it.
like, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why. So we're just like, that was like the first derp. Then there were ends up being like
3 derps
three
in a
more
row.
derps
In 10
in,
minutes.
in 10 minutes.
Like he tries to drive onto the highway the wrong way.
Yep, goes in the row,
We're
going up
like,
the up ramp.
Nope, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, it was bad. There were 4 derps in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think there wasn't too much else in Nebraska.
no, Nebraska was.
We like Nebraska because it was uneventful.
Oh, you know what we did do though?
Long
Well,
stretches of
okay.
clear road.
Okay, so we hit Iowa.
Yep.
Thomas is driving. He starts driving.
So hold on. So you go through
Nebraska.
Wyoming,
Yep.
Yeah.
then Nebraska. So you're headed east.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then Nebraska.
And then Iowa.
Then Iowa,
Yep.
Iowa's where
and
it gets
then
fun
now
again.
Iowa's
then
where it
you're in
gets fun again.
Illinois.
No, we're in Iowa right now.
Hold on. So
we
what's
just talking
after
about
Iowa?
Nebraska.
I was
haven't-
Illinois. Yes,
Yeah,
but we're
that's
talking
what I
about
said.
Iowa.
Oh,
Right.
we're talking about
Okay,
Iowa.
good.
We haven't gotten to Illinois yet.
Right.
So we're
It's
we're
like
in Iowa.
it's pretty
What
late.
time were you driving? It was like
I don't know.
2
It was
a.m.?
like it was in the middle of the night.
It was like 1 something.
Yeah.
But I get off this exit. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. You know, because I've been pounding water because I just want to stay awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all talking about scary movies just before this.
Yeah,
too.
Right,
Funsies.
and everyone's like, don't turn right because there's no lights over there. And
So he turns right.
So I'm
He
like,
goes off this
challenge
dark
accepted.
road.
So I pull off to the side. I'm like,
Whatever you do,
He gets out of the car.
said
we're
the
yelling after
crone.
him.
We're like,
Don't turn
if
right.
someone comes out of that little ditch,
If they come out of the darkness, we gotta leave you,
yeah,
Thomas.
we're
Sorry, buddy.
bailing on you, buddy.
I'm looking around while I'm going to the bathroom, like, I hope I see them first and just take off, right? And then those guys will be like, what the heck, and then start freaking out, right? So then I get back, like I'm getting back in the car and I look over across the street.
And
Yeah.
it's a cemetery.
And I'm like, oh, it's a cemetery right there.
1:40 or
That's
50 in
awesome.
the morning, something like that.
Yeah.
The
So I get
bell
back in and I'm
tolls at that
like,
exact instant.
We see a little figure in the
Death is
cemetery.
coming.
We're like, that's the little girl that appears in our car 2 seconds from now and
It
kills
looked
us
like the
all.
girl from.
That's awesome.
No,
In
well, I
the
started
rear
to
view
dread-
mirror.
I start to pull out, right?
And then,
I see
hold
something
on,
over
Ben,
there.
can we hear
And I'm like,
a,
oh, what's that? So
chilling
I pull
little
back
ghost
and turn on my
Back
lights
and
on
looks
it.
at it. I can't believe it.
I was hilarious.
So we're like, let's get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Come on, we gotta go.
it was
It was
This is
terrifying.
where
It was
Slender
fun
Man
times.
appears in front of the car.
Nice.
And so we keep driving. Driving, and then so Thomas pulls over. He's like, "All right, I'm tired. I can't drive anymore." So I start driving.
That was like, it was really early.
It's like
Yeah, it was like
5 hour
three-
shift.
We were
or
in
4 in the
Chicago
morning.
by midnight.
We were in.
So you
Illinois,
ended
I
up
think.
spending basically one night on the road
Yeah.
instead of finishing the trip in one almighty 24-hour stint.
It was. It's a
That's-
22-hour drive about. With the Wyoming stay, it ended up being 48 hours.
And Thomas missed his tournament.
Thomas missed the
Yeah,
singles tournament.
because-
Okay. Any more of the story? Got plenty of time.
Oh, the return trip has.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, hold on. Then I want to know how you guys did in the tournament.
Okay, we
'Cause
played,
I don't know.
We ended up playing 4 out of our
That
5
gets good,
games.
too.
Yeah. So basically, the way it ends up happening is that one of our tables does really well, like almost like tables the enemy, and the other table gets almost tabled by the enemy. So it's about middle of the road, 50-50.
Yeah.
And we played our 4th game, then we went on lunch break. And the way Adepticon has it set up is they'll send a text to you with your table pairing.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that signed up, so I had gotten texts for our table pairings for the past couple games. So we go out to lunch, we go get food, and we're like, we still haven't gotten a table pairing. So we head back, and we get into the hall.
Clock's
and the game,
going.
The game had started 15 minutes ago. So we're like, well, that kind of sucks. So we go up to
So
the
you can't
judges.
start now?
No,
We go to-
they found somebody else to pull in a ringer for
Yeah.
things for
So they found someone else for
see.
our table to play against. So we're just like, this is probably better. We just should head home anyway.
Yeah.
It ends up being a blessing in disguise because we could have gotten stuck.
Yeah,
in
we could have
Wyoming.
gotten stuck in Wyoming again.
If we had left later, we probably would have stuck in Wyoming again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
the hotel owner's brother is the sheriff who
Yeah.
calls the shots on road closures. Some
being
shenanigans
there
like
was
that.
fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Meeting everybody
return
was
trip.
there. Like,
Meeting everyone.
all the other
Oh yeah, okay.
YouTube
So talk
celebs
talk a
stuff.
little bit about Adepticon. Who did you meet that you thought was great? What did you learn that was new? What's a good company up and coming?
I like Chung actually. I've watched his videos.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Okay, so you met
Yeah,
him in
you
person.
Met Warhammer
He was
Joey,
pretty
or
cool.
Joey Berry.
Joey Berry.
And
He's like
Miranda.
he's a freak for Miranda, by the way.
Not a freak.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like she plays Kador and she's cute. Yeah, it's awesome.
What's not to love,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Kador.
The only two things you need.
Kador, so.
fantastic.
She's awesome. I don't care. God.
Kidding.
I'm like, yeah.
He's like really defensive about it too.
I owe Miranda an apology for
Yeah.
most awkward interview ever. It was a train wreck.
I saw that. Yeah.
And it was my fault.
It would be Miranda.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, Miranda is my internet crush. So I see her and I'm just like,
When I was watching that interview, I was laughing out loud because I was like,
Oh, it was so bad.
Right. You're like, I don't want to look away, but I should.
It's very uncomfortable. Well, we had no prep. I'd never even met her before.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, let's do a show." And she's like, "All right, I'm game." And I think I warned her ahead of time. I'm like, "I don't do any editing." So
She's a freak for editing.
Yeah. And so it was a little like I don't know, Cat in the Hat meets alphabetized soup cans. It was. Yeah, it was completely disorganized.
You alphabetize your soup
Hey,
cans?
that'd be a
Yes,
great
I do.
blog name for me. Disorganized Charge.
Cat in the Hat. I like that.
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway.
We met a lot of cool people. Like, we got to talk to the designer of Malifaux.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
For a while. We talked to,
Right.
Yeah, we got some inside info.
Yeah,
we can't
inside
tell, by the
info.
way. Sorry, guys.
pretty awesome.
Lots of fun stuff.
And
You're a Malifaux fan.
the inside info is spelled INFAUX.
Info.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, huh?
Info.
Okay, go ahead.
So, but yeah, pretty much everyone that we met was super cool.
I had some friends from Washington come out to us.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of cool too, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, the con was great. I mean, if the trip out there hadn't been awful, I'm sure it would have felt a million times better. But
Well,
it still was
you'd
pretty
be
awesome.
there a
Yeah.
day early.
But day
Like,
earlier,
we got
we
there-
wouldn't feel super tired.
Yeah.
We
Thomas wouldn't have missed his tournament.
Yeah, Thomas wouldn't have missed the
He
singles
wouldn't have been as
Oh,
grumpy.
yeah.
Steve's grumpy the whole time.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah.
So the return trip. So we pack up the car after finding out that we're not going to play our last game.
So we're like,
Hold on just a
Yeah,
second.
sure.
Go ahead.
So we pack up the car. We have to unpack everything because
Yeah.
whoever put it in there did a
Whoever
terrible
did it.
job.
I'll tell
Okay, not naming any
you. Not naming
names,
the
I
names.
guess.
Yeah.
But apparently they're in
we're
this
missing
room
a bunch
because you
of stuff.
both
Like I had to
looked
go
over.
back over. I had to go back.
Oh yeah,
over
his army almost got
Yeah,
left.
I had to go back over to where our booth was to get my Blood Angels army. Otherwise, I would
Because
have
it was the
been
only
out
thing
one
over
Blood
there,
Angels
right?
army.
Nothing else was
Yeah,
Wow.
nothing else was over there. That was
So you brought your Blood Angels just for cat pickup
Display
games?
purposes.
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
we
for
were
the
going to
display.
use it on the board, but then we ended up not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had it there, and it was in our booth area,
it could've
and
sucked.
it almost got left behind. I would have been sad. Would have been out one Blood Angels
So
army.
yeah, we unpacked everything, packed it all back in.
Packed it all back up. Somehow we had more stuff than we had on the way
Yeah.
out. It was
So
packed
I was
tighter.
riding with my head underneath the display board like this.
so he could recline.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is awesome.
So,
It was
yeah.
the extra suitcase. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. The extra suitcase. Really, like 2
Wasn't
extra
mine.
bags.
Yeah.
I don't know how
bunch
that
of
happened.
extra stuff for
a bunch
no
of
reason.
extra stuff.
We were expecting to have less stuff.
Yeah, we were like, oh, it's gonna be so much better on the way back. We won't be so crammed. Nope, it was
More
way worse. More crammed.
Oh,
So
okay.
we leave,
Yeah.
and we're driving along on 80. Everything's just fine for a long time. In fact, we hit Des Moines, Iowa until something goes wrong. So we're driving
Everyone
along on
was
80.
asleep except for Ben.
Yeah, everyone's asleep
Ben's
except
driving.
for Ben. And we're driving along, and all of us like we all
They
wake
would all
up.
kind of groggily wake up. You know.
And then so we're driving. Are we still on 80? Yeah, I think we are. Finally,
see a state sign.
yeah, finally it says, "Welcome to Missouri." We're like, why are we in Missouri? We apparently had somehow gotten onto 76, which took us down to Missouri. So
Yeah.
we pull over to this rest stop, and I'm checking it out on my phone. It's like, all right, well, we're either an hour back to Des Moines,
We're good.
and then 3.5 hours to Lincoln, Nebraska, or we could take this state road through Missouri and get to Lincoln, Nebraska in 3.5 hours. So we decide on option number 2,
That was terrifying.
which was terrifying.
The road was like
entire
this.
road- yeah, it was like this and like this.
Yeah.
And it was super dark. It was late at night, and the entire time we're just expecting Slender Man to appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, we kept talking about it
and
the whole
just
time.
kill
We're
us.
like, we're dead, out in the middle of nowhere.
But he's very considerate
deliverance.
about it.
We're done.
Our version of Slender Man is very considerate about killing you. He makes sure you're okay
comfortable
with it and
death.
has a good time with your dying.
But anyway,
A good time dying.
If this were,
Should
if this
that
were
be?
like,
Hey John, could you move
sure.
forward a little bit?
Sure. If this were like a BTP
I don't
After
know why I didn't
Dark,
catch that.
uncut, then
BTP
Yeah, then we could
After
tell you
Dark
all of our
Uncut?
stories.
then we could tell you all the
What?
story, but
Some
we
of
had
it
Really
to keep it
uncensored.
PC.
uncensored. We need to keep
Gotta
this
keep
a little
it
more
PC.
PG.
Okay, so
So anyway, we
So guess what? That's not all of the bird stories.
yeah, here comes more with the
Okay.
birds.
This was 2 a.m.
It's 2 a.m.
We're driving down that crazy windy road, and
is
we're
it
like,
Ben again driving?
Ben's
driving, and we're like watching out for deer and stuff. We're like,
Yeah,
oh,
because
some
of the
deer might.
deer,
So
yeah.
we're trying to be careful about that. Then all of a sudden,
This
bird
giant
comes out
giant
of nowhere.
bird. Like, this is a big bird. It's like
Please tell me you shrieked
He's
again.
know
the
what it
size car, and I go, oh! Like, I
I'm
get
in the
that.
car going, oh!
This bird guts all over the windshield.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was
Are you
bad, dude.
kidding?
It was bad.
Oh, that crunch noise.
And I'm like, oh god, now there's a dent in the car.
What the
So
heck?
then, luckily the car, you couldn't even tell that a bird hit the car, thank god. So that was
Wow.
10 birds. 10 birds suicided themselves on our car throughout this trip. 10 birds. So, yeah, we every time we'd hit a town on this Missouri road, we'd be like,
Oh, those towns
population
are so creepy at night.
537, there's 537, there are people that are going to kill us and hide the body.
It was just super creepy, like when
Yeah.
nobody else is out. And
Yeah.
it's like really dark in
It
these
was bad.
towns. It's normally in towns you have like street lights and stuff or something, but
No.
all these towns were like
Yeah, they're...
no lights whatsoever.
So we're just going along. We finally make it to Nebraska. Finally, we're like, we're in Nebraska.
Yay.
Nebraska's so great.
We love Nebraska.
We're
now.
back in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we get back on 80 and we're going. And then there is nothing. We're back. We should be hitting the Wyoming border soon. And we're like, oh, Wyoming.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we see a sign that says, "Welcome to Colorado."
Colorado!
Thomas is driving it this way.
We're like,
Somehow we end up in Colorado.
What? Everybody's yelling in the car like, what is happening?
Why are we in Colorado? How is this happening again?
Yeah.
So we pull over and we check it out again, and it's like, okay.
We looked at a map.
Yeah, we looked at the map. So we're only like 10 minutes back to Nebraska,
freeway or whatever, yeah.
back to 80. So we just turn around and go back to 80, and then finally we hit Wyoming again.
That wasn't fun.
And all of us, so we're driving along Wyoming, and the weather forecast is not good. The roads are threatening to close.
Yeah, they were talking about a fatality and stuff on the radio, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they're threatening to close the roads again. So we're just forcing our way
We're like,
through.
no, we are not going to let you do that to
Yeah.
us.
So
There was if they hadn't closed, I think we would have just gone through.
It starts
We'd have been
snowing. It starts snowing, and there's snow, and it's not good. The visibility's terrible. We're like, no, we're gonna get stuck in Wyoming. Why?
We wanted again.
Yeah, because we've been on the
awesome.
road now for at least 16 hours.
Yep.
So we get
God,
through.
that is hardcore.
We make it
Oh, yeah.
through.
And can I just tell you? Hold on just a second.
Sure,
I
sure,
gotta
sure.
get in the shot here.
No problem.
So at the same time that they're doing this,
You guys were already home by then, right?
I'm on a plane, hot towel, sir. I mean, it
That sounds
was
rough. Are you okay?
it was really.
Did you make
The
it?
ride
Are you
home
okay?
was-
I feel like you make a scarred for life.
I know it was pretty rough. No, but seriously, our plane ride home was really. It was basically 3 hours in the air, everything clear. All
I'm so
clear.
glad to be hearing
So-
this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that makes our trip so much
I
better.
don't know why I felt inspired to get in the shot and say that.
So anyway, we're driving along Wyoming. It's snowing. It's awful. It's blizzard conditions. Basically.
By the way, my trip was awesome.
No
And
problem.
So finally, we get through, and we come to this tunnel between
Oh yeah,
the tunnel between
Narnia.
yeah, it's the tunnel
Narnia.
between Rock Springs and Evanston, and we go through this tunnel.
Hold
and
your breath.
On one side, it's snowy,
Just
winter
blizzard.
wonderland blizzard crap.
The tunnel, literally.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
go through this tunnel, and on the other side, it's like
Sunshine,
beautiful
butterflies.
sunshine,
Really?
desert day,
And so,
and
what's
it's
this-
like you
what state is this now?
Wyoming.
It's Wyoming.
It's like you left Narnia. It's like, did we leave Narnia? This is ridiculous.
The bad Narnia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the bad version of Narnia.
Yeah.
And
Okay, great.
so we finally get through. We get to Little America. We have our lunch.
Well, they didn't cook my freaking
Yeah,
sandwich all
they
the
didn't
way.
cook your sandwich all the way,
I couldn't eat it. Like literally, the guy was having a really hard time because it was the lunch rush,
and it was just him
Right.
for whatever reason.
But like he like forgot mine or something. I could tell.
Oh.
He's kind of standing right there. He forgot mine, so he like slapped it together real quick. And then I like got like 2 bites in, and I was like, oh, this is like still uncooked. And I was like, well.
Oh,
But
they
it-
didn't cook
at
your
least we
sandwich?
were only like 3 hours from.
So I was like, I don't even care now. We're almost home.
Yeah. So we go. We
Forget
get through.
it.
We get through Evanston. We get to the Utah border. We drive through Utah. We make it
Wow.
back here.
So you
25
make it
hours
home
or something.
in the minivan.
We didn't even help anybody unload anything. We just kind of went through it all inside, and we're like, we're going to nap.
I came down to work for a while because there was a mess to clean
He
up.
was being hardcore. I was like,
No, I worked. Yeah.
yep, I'm incommunicado.
All these guys took the day off. I don't blame them at all. Like,
That was rough.
you know, cramped it, like a day where they weren't at a convention or cramped in a car. That's fine. Take the day
That
off.
trip did show me that.
I wish I could have taken a day off. So I was kind of bitter about this morning.
The
I'm
trip
sorry.
did show me that
Yeah.
I'm not very good at sleeping in the car when somebody else is driving.
Yeah.
I have a hard time.
I mean, you guys looked pretty bad
Oh yeah.
coming out of that. I've
We got
never,
there, we were
I've
like-
never really even seen a human like that.
The whole way there,
Just
on
brain
that
dead.
first trip, on the trip out, I didn't sleep except for like maybe an hour the entire time.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how Thomas does it. He just,
Thomas, it's kind of infuriating because Thomas is literally like, oh, you have somebody else's trip,
Oh, he
and then
just
just
goes
sleeps
to
the whole
sleep
way.
real
And I was
easy.
like, oh, I want to choke you right now. It's just like, oh.
He's
Yeah.
got the zen
So-
of Thomas.
So I think we calculated
He's
out that
tired,
we
he
ended up
sleeps.
spending more time in Wyoming
Than the
than the
entire
entire rest of the trip.
No way.
Yeah.
Yep, hours-wise, that is
Hours-wise.
affirmative.
The whole, even at Adepticon,
No, I mean like driving.
Oh, driving.
Even the way
Oh,
back,
driving.
the whole time.
more than half.
I don't think so.
No, it couldn't be. You were there at least 2 days,
It
right?
was close.
We spent more time
Okay,
in Wyoming.
did
between
you
the
buy
trip out and the
anything
trip
while you were
back.
there?
At Adepticon?
Yeah, did you get something special for yourself?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, there you go. Sorry,
We
I
had some pretty
asked
awesome
them.
food. Like the,
I got a Tau
Food was
Codex.
awesome.
Yeah, like when we went to Harry Carey's.
Oh, that
Oh,
burger.
that
yeah,
was
oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
Thank you for that again.
No,
by the
you're,
way.
it
And
was
when
my
we went
pleasure.
to Giordano's.
That was the
Yeah.
one thing that cheered us up. Tron's like,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
buy you guys lunch. And I was like,
Anything you want.
oh, this burger's so good.
I had a buffalo
Tastes
chicken
like victory.
sandwich. Oh,
Yeah, and that brownie sundae.
Oh, yeah.
cappuccino
It's
gelato.
ridiculous.
Ooh, I wanted to get
Oh,
some.
yeah. That's
So,
fantastic.
and then we went to Giordano's with all like the WGC people. That was a
That
lot
was
of fun.
cool. Like
Yeah.
internet celebrities all at
Yeah.
one table, if you can imagine.
Like
Yeah, that
I
was
starstruck.
really
It was pretty
special.
cool. I was like, maybe because Miranda was a few seats over.
Yeah, there's
that's
Joey Berry,
fantastic.
Miranda, WGC.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chung.
Oh, Terrainaholic. He's really cool, by the
He's
way.
really
Yeah,
cool.
he is really cool. God, that guy has.
he
I
is
was just
more-
listening to his voice off
Yeah.
camera, and he's got a voice for radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really.
Who do you
Yeah,
think's
very
more cheerful,
smooth.
Sean or him?
I don't know.
Sean or who?
For you or
Terrainaholic guy?
Terrainaholic? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's tough.
I don't think that's really even a question. Although it is interesting
Are
that
you
you would
more
bring
cheerful?
up
Are you
the
saying you
topic
are or he is?
of somebody being more cheerful than me at
Yeah.
all.
What about
So
I think you guys should have a
please,
cheerful.
What
is
about
all I
Dave?
have to say. What?
Or Dave, yeah.
Dave? Yeah, Dave can match his energy wise
He's
for
cooking
sure.
just okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy.
He wins on the cookies.
Joey Berry, I also felt was in
Yeah,
terms
her and
of
Shannon are like
outgoingness.
inseparable
They're
girlfriends
besties
now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They're
that's
in love.
really fantastic.
Yeah.
I was fine with that.
yeah.
As long as Shannon was still.
Yeah, I wish I would have interviewed Joey Berry. Actually, no. I'm
You will,
actually
Paul.
glad I
You still
did because
can,
it would
yeah.
be horrible. Well, I'm a changed man now. I've decided that I'm going to do it differently.
Do it different.
We'll see.
You're gonna try to do
I'm
structured
not sure
interviews
how
now?
I'm
I don't
going
know
to.
if people will like that.
No. I think it's just going to be because I noticed. All right, on me now. See, I'm taking this over. Actually, I'm not. I'll let you guys talk. So I've noticed that that I really am not listening when the other person is talking. Like they say something and it just Goes right there. So that's the thing I'm going to change. I don't like that. I actually want to register what it is the other person is saying. But, you know, I mean, to get on an ad lib, it's pretty high octane, you know, that it's like, okay, click, you're on camera, now be interesting for 15 minutes, you know.
So the question is, are you thinking about the next thing you're going to say or talk
But
about?
what I'm suggesting
Yeah.
is that I have to. I have to be thinking about the next thing because there's no script. Otherwise, I'll just be and then you won't know, and you can't do
Hopefully,
that.
what they're
Keep it up.
responding with is going to generate a new question for you. That's the
That is true. That is true. So I am going to finesse it a little bit more. Cool. Which is hilarious because I say that every year. And I get about a 5% improvement per year.
Well, it's 5% every year. Hey,
Yeah.
Eventually you'll get there.
20 years.
7 years, so I only need to go to Adepticon 13 more years to finally get it right.
Finally be like, the best interviewer.
You know who the best interviewer is? Adam Loper from Tabletop Minions. I'm going to give a shout out to that guy. Also, you know what? Who else I want to give a shout out to? And I don't know, maybe you guys saw Tectonic Studios. They had the laser cut wood terrain.
Oh, those guys are
Yeah,
cool.
those guys are cool.
No,
We met them.
they
at,
had
we met
a
them at this
flippin'
event.
train. They had a train that like worked.
Yeah, we went to this
went to the
Adepticon
after
party. Put
party.
on my Screaming Heretic. It was like
Yeah, and apparently, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead.
sure.
apparently, because I interviewed him and he invited me to this thing,
And why
Oh,
didn't you-
really?
and I was like, today, I'm like, yeah, I was never invited to that. I never even heard about it. And yeah,
It was a lot
Shannon
of
was
fun.
like, no, I was standing
You were
there and
on-
he
Don't worry,
invited
Sean.
you.
We were there representing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
So,
when,
okay,
that's when
good.
we talked
That makes
to
me
the lead
happy.
designer Malifaux. That's when we talked
Yeah, we
to these
met all of
guys.
those people. That's
No
the thing.
kidding.
Is
When was this?
everybody
Was
that
this on
was there was
Saturday
like,
night?
It was Saturday night. Yeah. It was right. It was after we got back from.
you guys would have been getting up for your plane though.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah,
Tara.
we-
Tara
we
was
just
there.
went right
Sarah
back.
was like, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had a lot of
great.
fun. A lot of fun.
Oh,
Good times.
that's really good, guys. All right, thanks for sharing. That ended up being about a half hour.
The harrowing
and I
trip.
think
At
that's
the time
good.
we were talking about this too, we were like, this trip is so awful, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, you know what? If we look back on it, it's going to be hilarious.
Well, now it's
Like, later on.
memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a
Can you
couple
imagine
weeks,
pulling a
we'll even
hand
be able
cart
to-
for 3 months
we'll
across
even
the
be-
plains?
We'll
You
even
know?
be able to think it was a grand old time in the
It
car.
didn't really happen. It was just
Yeah.
a dream. Or
The spirit of the pioneers are like,
Oh God.
shut up. You
Yeah, they're
know.
like, I died from malaria, you sissy.
Oh, okay. Oh, John, no. No. All right.
Anywho, thanks
Thanks a
for
lot.
watching,
See you
guys.
later.
Yeah. Thank you.